everybody. Welcome to Kitchen Talk with Granna. It is that time of day again. Gonna get up in here, but I'm doing things a little different, shaking it up just a little bit. I am back to having one-on-one conversations. That's right. We're about to have some one-on-one conversations today, and I am just so thrilled, guys. I'm so excited about this. I have in the kitchen with me today, guys, wait for it. I'm telling you, I have one of the newest author there is around. I have Miss Ty Anderson in the kitchen with Granna. I'm so excited to
Thank you
have
so
you
much for
here.
having me.
Oh my God, I am a fan.
Thank you.
I'm such a big fan. Of course, I have your book, but before we hop into the book thing, let me just let you give them just a little bit of who Ty is. Then we're gonna hop into this book. Okay.
Ty Anderson, I'm an actress. I am a former professional dancer, singer, mother of two, you name it, I'm doing it.
You're it. You are a woman of many hats. You wear many hats.
Yes.
Okay. Well,
Yes.
Hey, that's the way it is these days. Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yep.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Okay. I am going to drop into her book. I don't know if you guys have seen her book or read her book, but you guys have got to go on Amazon and pick it up because I'm going to let her go into more. I've read it, but I'm going to talk to her about it. So what gave you this? What put this into you? What started you on this journey of writing this book?
Man, I just went through a period of my life where I just started thinking about things that I had to do to move forward in my life. And so as I came up with a laundry list of things that I needed to do, I was thinking, oh, this could be the grown woman's guide to getting your life together. Because I was thinking, what do I need to do to get my life together? So it's all about taking ownership of your life, not making excuses for your life, but still dealing in self-care, building yourself up,
Yes.
not beating yourself up for being where you're at, but accepting yourself for the woman you are today and believing what God has planned for you.
Absolutely. Now, this book, The Grown Woman's Guide, definitely to me, I have used this as a kind of like a journal.
Yes.
And a self-love book, self-care book. In your book, you basically breaks down finances, self-care, motivation. You do all that in here. You tell people what they need to do to motivate themselves. They don't need anyone to motivate them.
Yeah.
So was that something that you struggle with, that, getting to that, having that motivation, even though you doing all these things? And
So I am at a point where I was buying a house and I have never lived on my own before.
Okay.
At the age that I am now, everything was under my husband's name and we did everything together. And now I'm at a point where it's like, oh my gosh, I have to do all this by myself. What do I do? And so just thinking, well, do you have a savings account set up? Are you maxed out on your 401k? Can you pay the mortgage by yourself? All these things I start thinking of, and it's like, well, I can't be the only woman who feels this way. How many other women know these things but haven't actually put them into place, right? I talk about pulling clothes out of your closet. For me, I started gaining a lot of weight in the past couple of years.
Wow.
And every woman has their size that they're comfortable with.
Exactly.
And I started becoming uncomfortable with my size and my clothes weren't fitting anymore. And I told you I was a former professional dancer.
Right.
And so I had clothes from when I used to dance. And so, I held on to that size. And
thinking you were going to get back to that size.
Thinking I was going to get back to that size.
Which what we do.
We do that. A lot of women do
that.
I remember when I used to fit in this dress, and you remember how it made you feel.
Absolutely.
And just wishing that I was that again.
Yeah.
But because of that, I wasn't able to accept who I am today. And it was making me depressed and it wasn't making me feel good about who I am. So, in practicing self-care, you have to let some stuff go. You have to let some clothes go, some people go, some relationships go. And then just embrace who God has you to be today. The space that you're in, the financial position that you're in, everything. You just start from where you're at,
Yeah.
and you determine how your life is going to go.
Yeah.
You determine that, right?
Absolutely, because as women, sometimes we are all those things. We're the mother, we're the wife, we're the the worker, we're all these things. But then we're afraid to be who we really are, or step out there on our own. We may know, being into a relationship or being married, we may know about the finances, but we don't like really get into it or really dig into it,
Yeah.
because we just let that, let the man's handle that. So your book basically walks them through all those processes. It walks them it takes them from A to Z. It takes them through the whole process.
And it's growth.
It's definitely growth.
It's pushing you towards growth, and how can I level up for myself?
Absolutely.
Right? You don't just have to wait until January 1st to start your vision board or to start your new life. You can start on whatever day that you decide to start, and not beat yourself up for not being where you want to be. Well, how can I get to where I want to be?
Absolutely. And then, like I said, even with that, it comes with time. All of it comes with time and stuff. But I love this book. I want everybody to go on Amazon and get this book.
Thank you.
Because you have it laid out so good for everyone. All they got to do is just take the steps and go through the process that you've laid out for them. And everything. And I know I said we might touch a little bit on your music, but you are a amazing singer. I've also heard your music, and you are amazing. So I'm gonna, maybe one day I can come back and you can give me a little tips of that.
Okay.
Give me a little bit of that music and everything. But I'm so grateful for you being here today. Any little last minute things you want to throw out there before we get up out of here?
Just go get the book.
Y'all go get her book. Here it is, right here. Good. So we talked about your book.
Yes.
And all that it's gonna do to help women, and empowering them. So let's talk about Ty, the woman, the artist, or actress, the singer, and all that. Let's talk about that.
Yes. It's such a blessing to be able to do the things that I love, right? So many people don't have that opportunity, or they're scared. And I have to admit, I'm always afraid to try something new. And even as a dancer, I was afraid to be out on the court
Really?
Yeah, I danced for the NBA, and that was terrifying to have all those people staring at you. But it was an experience that I will never forget, and it allowed me to go on to coach high school dance and to teach at different studios and just use the talent that God gave me. And that pushed me to make music, which was something that I've always wanted to do but was too scared to do. And just over the years, I've gotten a little bit more confident. The more I do it, the more I end up writing my own music.
Okay.
And the more I try new things, which is really, really weird, because you start off just singing and then you find yourself rapping, and I'm like, who the heck do I think I am, trying to be a rap star?
You can do it all. There's nothing wrong with doing it all. You can rap, you can do it all. But the more you do it, do you feel more comfortable? Do you kind of get out of that fear and want to, like, oh wow, I'm all this. I'm all woman. You want to do the Chaka Khan and get out there and just do it all. So the more you do it, it makes you more comfortable.
Absolutely. And you start to try new things. So with the music, when I first started, I had people writing for me.
Okay.
And that's always interesting, having a man write from a woman's perspective and trying to give those same emotions, in the music. But as I continued on with the music, it was me finding my own voice and putting that in there. And sometimes that's difficult, because you try to find out how vulnerable you're going to be in your music. And I think I went through that same thing with the book. I was trying to decide, well, how much information do I really want to put out there? But when you do it, people are able to relate to it more.
Right.
And then you just start to build up that confidence and try new things. And even when things sound bizarre or weird or, just where's she going with that? It ends up being one of the coolest things that you can do. And people are like, whoa.
Yeah, I understand that, because a lot of times when you're trying to express yourself, you might just be all over the place.
Yeah.
You're just everywhere. But then, like I said, when you get to the point where you can sit and write it down, and sometimes it's hard to even express your emotions to someone else that's writing your story.
Yes.
That's writing your music or writing it for you. And it's so much easier when you can actually get off to yourself and do that to yourself, as you did with your book, and as you're doing with your music now. It's you really expressing yourself. Because when you're trying to tell your story through somebody else, sometimes they're not going to get it right. And then they're going to be looking at you like you're crazy. Like, what is wrong with her? So yeah, and what you're into right now with your art, with doing your books and being an author and writing your music and singing it and expressing it the way you want to do, no one can do it any better than you can.
Yeah.
So you have to sometimes step out there, to get out there, to do what you need to do.
Absolutely. And you learn a lot about yourself as well. When you push yourself, you're like, okay, well, I can do this. Or, oh, I didn't know that I like that. Or I didn't like that. There's just so many things that I've learned through my process throughout the last 7-8 years of pushing myself to be a better person, to try new things, to be a better artist or creator, even with acting. I have found myself just trying new things, and the stranger I can be in a film, or allow myself to just let my emotions take over, the more interesting the scene ends up being. So, sometimes you just have to let loose and let your guard down and not care what other people are thinking in that moment, because you end up creating something really beautiful at the end.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I would think that acting would be harder than even doing your music and stuff, because you got to connect with whoever you're.
That's so much easier for me.
Really?
Yeah, it's so much easier for me to be someone else than for me to be myself. And I know that sounds like the weirdest thing ever.
That sounds a little crazy.
It does sound crazy, but you can just let go and allow yourself, like when you're young and you're in preschool or whatever, and you're playing make-believe. How easy that is to just let your mind go and just and play dress up and talk to your friends that are there, right? And just say whatever comes out of your mouth. And when you've rehearsed the lines enough, those are words that are coming out of your mouth. It feels real in the moment, and those emotions are real, and the tears are real, or whatever else comes out. Sometimes we can be in an argument in a scene, and you can really feel those emotions and feel like you're in an argument, and like I said, it becomes the most beautiful thing that you could have ever created, because now the emotions are real. It's jumping off the page, as opposed to trying to reveal to people through music who you are as a person, and have people question that. Sometimes people can question the type of person you are if they know too much personal information about you, as opposed to, oh, this is just a character I'm playing.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely understand that. Now, when you're choosing your roles for your movies and everything that you do, is there anything that's just totally off limits that I'm not doing that? I'm just not going to do that.
I've grown. I was totally against doing love scenes like 8 years ago, because I was always afraid of what my parents would think. Didn't matter that I was a grown woman paying my own bills and out of the house, but I am such a daddy's girl. And my mom would always tell me, oh, you're friends with a pastor on Facebook, and you want to make sure that, you're doing what you're supposed to do, and people are always watching. And it's hard having that in your mind and trying to be free and expressing yourself and kissing someone on screen. But I did it. It didn't go well the first time. I got made fun of. But it became easier and I'm glad that I did it because it was something that I accomplished and a fear that I got over.
Right.
So, yeah, I find it as a challenge.
Yeah.
And that's all I want to do. I want to continue to challenge myself and push to do better things. So love scenes was the thing that I said I would never do.
And I definitely can understand that. I mean, you thinking about your parents, you're thinking about your hubby or your loved one or whoever, your spouse and stuff, and you're like, ooh, how they gonna look at this and how they gonna look at that? Because you don't want them to look at it and like, So I definitely.
Does my breath stink, or did I put on deodorant this morning? Or you're thinking of all these things in the middle of this scene, and
you know what? Most of the time, your parents, they're just proud that you're doing what you're doing.
Yes.
And your spouses, and they're being supportive, and they don't even, sometimes with me, I'll probably just fast forward a little bit to get past that, and just keep it moving.
My dad definitely goes like this. He's like, it's different when it's someone else's daughter, but when it's your own daughter, you can't look.
You want that scene to go by really fast.
Yeah.
Just go ahead on, hurry.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm just so proud of you.
Thank you.
You've done a lot, and you're doing a lot, and it's just, it's just another way of showing females and little girls that you can do whatever you want to do.
Absolutely.
You can accomplish whatever fears that you have and challenges and setting challenges for yourself. I'm sure 7 years ago you wasn't even probably really, really ready to write a book or get into a book or, like you said, do a love scene.
Right.
And now you're doing it all.
Yeah.
You're just doing it all. So I'm just really happy for you.
Thank
so proud
you.
of you. Any little advice that you can leave for the girls and the boys?
Yeah.
Anyone that's going through, a lot of times we don't see what they really going through from the inside. But, people have fears and people have, things they just don't want to deal with. So is there any advice you want to leave the people?
Speak up. Speak up. So often we are suffering in silence, and we don't want to say anything. We think that nobody understands. But I have learned through everything that I've gone through that when I speak up and I say I'm hurting, there's somebody else who hears it, and they end up finding a blessing in my pain.
Yes.
So when you speak up, it not only helps you to get past that pain, get past that moment, but it serves as a testimony for somebody else to get through whatever they're going through. So the more I talk about the things I went through in my book of, how I had all this money in my early 20s and I blew it, right? There's some 20-year-old who could be like, you know what? I don't want to do that. Or maybe I will blow it, but I'll actually go on a trip. I can't even tell you what I spend it on. It's probably going out to clubs and stuff like that. But just speak up about the things that are bothering you, so that you can let other people in. And you can get help, and so people can bless you. People can support you and love on you and help you to not feel alone.
Right. Well, you guys heard it. Speak up. And that's about any situation. So, as you watch this video, just think about some of the things that Ty and I talked about. And, just live your best life. And if you're going through some situation, just speak up and talk about it. All right, Granna's about to get up out this kitchen. Y'all, thanks for hanging out with us today. Don't forget to go back and share my video with family and friends. And guys, be kind to everybody and just have a great day. I'm going to check you out next time around.